It's now rather clear that Agile is a very different approach from Waterfall. As already said in previous lessons, Waterfall is a plan-driven approach based on gate approvals. Plan-driven since it's based on a upfront plan, which can be modified during the project all in a time and effort-consuming way. Based on phase gates, because each phase is successive to the previous one and needs a final approval before moving on to the next one. On the contrary, Agile is an iterative, incremental, and adaptive approach. Iterative because it's based on a sequence of iterations whose objective is to always produce a usable and consistent set of functionalities in each iteration. Incremental because each subset of functionalities adds to the previous one and together build incremental pieces of value to the end customer. Adaptive because it's based on frequent inspections and adaptations. That means observation of what is being built and of the changing market context, and the update of the successive requirements. This slide is very interesting because it demonstrates how Agile has a completely different paradigm compared to Waterfall. The demonstration is based on 4 main dimensions of the whole project: scope, time, cost, and quality. On the left part, there is the so-called iron triangle for Waterfall projects, with fixed dimensions above the dashed line, and the variable or estimated ones below. Well, above the line there is the scope. Clearly, Waterfall requirements are fully specified at an early design stage and remain fixed for the rest of the project. In case of needed changes, change requests are complex and time-consuming to handle. On the contrary, project times and costs are estimated at project start and may deviate even significantly as initial assumptions are verified or most often are not confirmed during the project. Quality is set below the line because, as seen in previous lesson, as the project goes under pressure for some reason, the objective from the management is to maintain the scheduled release date, and this very often compromises quality. On the right part instead there is the Agile triangle. Here the scope is below the line and the other dimensions are above. Time and costs are fixed because the iterations determine the fixed duration and fixed cost of the sprints, that are respectively the length of the sprint and the cost of the resources involved in that iteration, which is simply computable. The scope is variable because the requirements, also called in Agile product backlog, are dynamic and the lessons learned in a sprint result in a successful adaptation of the scope for the next sprints. Quality as well is in the fixed part of the model, since in Agile, the dynamics that often occurs in waterfall projects that forces compromise in quality are less likely to happen. On the contrary, Agile stresses practices that focus on quality, for example code review, peer review, test-driven development, continuous delivery, and so on.